Monica Bellucci in her prime had a face and figure so striking that it felt almost sculpted by the gods. But in the 90s, when Hollywood was obsessed with ultra-thin frames and waifish figures like Kate Moss, how could prime Monica Bellucci with her full curvaceous figure become an icon of beauty? What is it about her that made her so beautiful and universally desired in her prime, despite not fitting in the conventional molds of Hollywood beauty? To understand this, we need to understand her origin. Monica Bellucci was born in a small Italian village, Città del Castello, in 1964. From a young age, she was already turning heads, but no one could have predicted just how iconic she would become. Her beauty wasn't just another standard of the time, it was a blend of classical elegance and sensuality, deeply rooted in her Mediterranean heritage. It wasn't long before Monica began modeling, and her features became impossible to ignore. The tall, curvaceous figure, the olive skin that seemed to glow under any light, and the mesmerizing dark hair cascading down her shoulders. All of this made her stand out. But what truly made Bellucci special was how different she was from the blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty standards of the West at the time. But the world of beauty and Hollywood is fickle. At the time, the industry was dominated by slender, almost waifish figures like those of Kate Moss and the androgynous trends of the 90s. So how could Monica Bellucci, with her classic hourglass shape and fuller figure, succeed in an industry obsessed with ultra-thin frames? Was her beauty too bold, too voluptuous for Hollywood's narrow ideals? Her facial structure also defied the conventional symmetry seen in many A-list actresses. Bellucci's face was all about contrast. Her wide, almond-shaped eyes stood in stark opposition to her soft, full lips. Her nose, slightly broader than what you might consider traditionally perfect, only added to the intrigue of her appearance, giving her a distinctive look that was hard to forget. She wasn't flawless by conventional standards, but it was precisely those contrasts and imperfections that made her perfection incarnate. Would Hollywood accept her Mediterranean, voluptuous beauty, or would she be cast aside in favor of the lighter, slimmer actresses who fit the narrow mold? As it turned out, the industry and the world didn't just accept Bellucci's beauty, they celebrated it. Directors quickly realized that her distinct features weren't just memorable, they were mesmerizing. She brought a richness and depth that made her stand out from every other actress. Her skin tone was a revelation, a warm, sun-kissed olive that reflected her Italian roots and contrasted beautifully with the paler complexions so often seen in Hollywood. Her dark, lustrous hair framed her face like a crown, and her expressive eyes, shaded by naturally thick lashes, drew you in, holding your gaze longer than you expected. In a sea of cookie-cutter models and actresses, Monica Bellucci's curvaceous frame was a statement in itself. She owned every curve, every inch of her body, with a confidence that made her unforgettable. While others strived to meet unrealistic body ideals, Bellucci was unapologetically herself, natural, voluptuous, and stunningly graceful. And the world couldn't get enough of it. But here's the real question. What made Monica Bellucci not just another beautiful face, but a timeless icon of beauty? Was it just her physical attributes, or was there something deeper about her appeal that made her irresistible? To understand what set Bellucci apart from her peers, you need to look beyond her looks and into the way she carried herself. Monica was not just beautiful, she embodied beauty. There was a slow-burning sensuality about her, an effortless confidence that made her more than just a pretty face on a magazine cover. She knew how to use her beauty, not as a shield, but as an invitation to explore the depth of her character. What made her truly unique was her blend of classic European beauty with an edge of mystery. Her dark eyes, the smoldering gaze that seemed to pierce right through you, was unlike anything you'd seen in Hollywood's blonde-dominated screen queens. Her face was a study in contrasts, angular and soft, sharp yet inviting. But could Bellucci's more mature, full-bodied beauty compete in an industry obsessed with youth? At a time when many actresses resorted to drastic measures to maintain their image, whether through cosmetic surgery or extreme diets, Bellucci took a different route. She embraced aging naturally, and instead of fighting against time, she wore her years with grace. This was risky. The film industry is known for its obsession with youth, and leading actresses are often pressured to maintain a youthful appearance at any cost. But Monica's refusal to conform to those standards became one of her defining qualities. Could a woman over 40, who wasn't trying to turn back the clock, still reign as a beauty icon? Could she stand shoulder to shoulder with the young starlets and remain just as captivating? The answer was a resounding yes. In fact, Bellucci became even more captivating as she aged. Her mature beauty was not something that faded. It deepened, becoming richer, more layered, and more interesting. She exuded confidence, a natural sensuality that felt authentic, not forced. Unlike many actresses who tried to maintain an eternal youth, Bellucci grew into her features, letting her face tell a story of life, experience, and strength. Her decision to embrace her natural beauty set her apart in an industry where appearance is often crafted in surgeons' offices and maintained by personal trainers. Monica Bellucci's allure wasn't just physical, it was her authenticity. She didn't chase perfection, and that's exactly what made her perfect. Her beauty transcended age and defied the traditional rules of Hollywood. She became a symbol not just of physical attraction, but of the power that comes with embracing one's natural self. Monica Bellucci's beauty wasn't just a product of her natural features, it was also deeply amplified by her impeccable sense of fashion and makeup. Where many actresses struggled to find a signature style, Bellucci mastered the art of enhancing her Mediterranean allure with bold, sophisticated choices. Whether she was on the red carpet or in character, her clothing and makeup became an extension of her persona, elevating her from a beautiful actress to a full-blown icon of elegance. In a world where Hollywood actresses often leaned towards trendy, figure-concealing outfits or over-the-top avant-garde looks, Monica Bellucci stood out by embracing timeless, classic fashion choices. But how did she balance modern elegance with an old-world sensuality? Could this subtle, almost rebellious nod to classic fashion norms resonate in an industry where trends changed as fast as the seasons? Bellucci's style was defined by her love for monochrome, particularly black. Whether draped in a fitted gown or a perfectly tailored suit, black became her signature, not because it was safe, but because it highlighted her curves and deepened the intensity of her Mediterranean features. She knew how to balance simple, understated elegance with daring cuts that showcased her body without ever crossing into vulgarity. One of her most iconic looks was in the 2000 film Melena, where she played the role of a widow in a small Italian village. Her wardrobe in the film, a series of simple fitted dresses that hugged her hourglass figure, was emblematic of the sensual yet sophisticated image she cultivated. The deep reds and browns contrasted beautifully with her olive skin, while the minimal makeup and dark lips made her face even more arresting. Similarly, in The Matrix Reloaded 2003, Bellucci, playing the role of Persephone, wore an unforgettable body-hugging latex dress. The design highlighted her statuesque frame, and the deep maroon color paired with her dark, glossy hair created a fierce, almost otherworldly beauty. It was a modern, high-fashion look that still paid homage to her Italian roots, creating a blend of mystery and sensuality that few actresses could pull off. Makeup was another tool in Bellucci's arsenal. Rather than caking on layers of products, she opted for natural glowing skin with bold, defined features. She knew that a swipe of crimson lipstick or a dramatic eyeliner would draw all eyes to her iconic full lips and almond-shaped eyes. Her makeup choices, often sultry yet minimal, let her natural beauty shine through, enhancing rather than concealing her striking features. But there's something even more profound at play. Monica Bellucci wasn't just a product of her era. Her beauty set new standards. What was it about her appearance that made her a lasting icon, even when beauty ideals were changing faster than ever? To truly grasp her influence, you have to look at the elements of her beauty that captured the world. Monica Bellucci wasn't simply beautiful by Italian or European standards. She managed to embody Western ideals of beauty while simultaneously transcending them. Her hourglass figure, with a narrow waist and full hips, harkened back to an era of classic Hollywood sirens like Sophia Loren and Marilyn Monroe. Yet, in the age of the 90s supermodel, where slenderness was glorified, Bellucci's fuller figure was a bold contrast. It was a reminder that beauty was not a one-size-fits-all proposition. She brought back the idea that femininity could be curvy, soft, and powerful all at once. But this begs the question: How could Monica Bellucci be so universally adored when beauty standards varied so widely across cultures and times? From the supermodels of the 90s to the polished, high-glamour look of the 2000s, Bellucci was a singular force. Would she still have the same appeal as trends shifted toward even more extreme body ideals and digital alterations? Hollywood often pressures women to fit into narrow molds, and many actresses have bent to those pressures. But Bellucci refused to change who she was, even as the film industry favored younger, slimmer, and often more cosmetically enhanced stars. Yet her timelessness came from a deeper place than merely fitting into a standard. Bellucci represented a throwback to natural, effortless beauty, while simultaneously elevating it into something mythic. Her strong bone structure, high cheekbones, well-defined jawline, and the shape of her eyes created a harmony that was near universal in its appeal. Her almond-shaped eyes, dark and sultry, communicated volumes without a word. This blend of timeless classical beauty with an unmistakable modern sensuality made Bellucci iconic. Unlike so many others who would rely on alterations or enhancements to meet changing beauty standards, Monica stayed true to herself. Her features, full lips, broad cheekbones, and deep-set eyes, embodied an almost primal appeal that transcended culture and time. She wasn't just a product of the 90s or 2000s, she was a lasting symbol of what true beauty meant, a mixture of confidence, natural allure, and timeless charm.